that quote from Steve Jobs really resonates here in terms of you can connect the dots looking backward in 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 time from the present. I believe it stems from four or five culminating experiences. Uh, the first one being a internship the last 2 years in college with you
Mhm.
at Mary Washington, um, uh, developing a imaging satellite radar constellation at a company called Trident Space. And so that was these satellites were kind of like a stepping stone toward the greater becoming involved in the space ecosystem. And I um, graduated a little early, around December of 2017, and uh, but before then, there was also another experience. That was a study abroad in Bilbao, Spain. Uh, that was spring of 2017, and um, that was really fueled by this passion for adventure and um, something deeper in life. And so that really sparked this passion for travel and exploration. And so I found myself on a plane shortly after college, destined to, you know, live and work abroad in Singapore for a few months. Uh, and I didn't really know anyone over there, and I didn't have really much work aligned, but I was fortunate enough to be supported by my parents. Um, and I realized while I was over there that the greater reason was to go explore, and so I just started traveling, right? And I just uh, would bounce around to all these beautiful countries in Southeast Asia, and I developed this uh, really got into motorcycling over there, and um, it's kind of initially sparked from this 1,000 kilometer trip through the western coast of Italy on these massive motorcycles that I was convinced we would just like total myself. And so I uh, wound up riding 10,000 kilometers on a motorcycle throughout 10 countries in Southeast Asia. And, I rode through, I've seen some, rode through a lot of chaos in the streets and a lot of, you know, borderline, I don't know, dangerous situations, a lot of very close calls, and several crashes. I'm lucky to be here having this conversation with you. Yes, um, and I guess that I was on a journey and became inspired to launch a nonprofit over there after really experiencing a deeper side of humanity and all the poverty over there. And I was kind of wound up with this lifelong passion for philanthropy and giving back. Um, and while I was over there, I had a lot of time to conceptualize my thoughts. And I was in the bathroom of this Vietnamese airport. Um, and I just was pacing back and forth for like an hour or two about like really like what do I want to do with my life, and so it was at that moment I decided to commit to starting Frontier Space, and I really launched a space research organization and podcast, um, and that was kind of after like motorcycling under the stars and kind of realizing that 90% of what I was reading was about space and to support life and the expansion of life throughout our solar system. Um, and so it's primarily a podcast now, and it's been operating for around 1.5 years since 2019. Go check it out. We a lot of really interesting concepts that are revolutionizing life on Earth and in um, uh, around us beyond Earth. Um, and yeah, so those were a few of the experiences that really compelled me toward this deeper dive and dedicate significant amounts of my career.
Definitely. I feel like most of the people that I talk to on here have had some sort of traveling experience, or they've been like abroad somewhere, or somewhere like way out of their comfort zone. Like for me, I bring this up probably like every other podcast. Nah, that's not true. But I spent like 3.5 weeks in South Africa, traveling the country, and so that was one of the things that I wouldn't say it's inspired this, but it's like sort of underlying for why I started the podcast, to like so I could expose or bring to light some of the more interesting stories that people wouldn't often get to hear. So um, from your perspective, traveling throughout Southeast Asia, I'm sure besides the close calls and dangerous stuff, I'm sure you met a lot of cool people, saw a lot of cool things. Um, and it's always I encourage people whenever people ask, 'cause I encourage people to travel all the time, just like experience other things. It's like because there's no substitute for that. Like you can look at a picture on Google, but until you're really there, it's not really the same.